to talk about. So much to talk about. 2021 rookies now have landing spots for the most part. All the rookies have a landing spot. All the big name rookies. There's a few out there. Chuba Hubbard, a couple guys that need to find landing spots that could shake up the rookie rankings. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But for the most part, we have a lot to work with, a lot to rework. We've got James Robinson. Rest in peace, J Rob. We'll miss you, young man. We have ETN falling into a cloudy spot, but long term, could it be okay? We'll talk about that. We have Sermon getting drafted where I predicted he would go if the Niners did not take Najee Harris and move back into the first round to take Najee Harris. I had mentioned that Sermon would probably find a home, maybe in San Fran, maybe in Arizona. I wish it was Arizona. I'll be honest with you. I am a Cardinal fan. I'm in Arizona. But what a fantastic landing spot for Sermon. Maybe not right away. Maybe not right away, but certainly in time, Sermon could grab a hold of a grip of carries in San Fran because he is a bruising between the tackles running back that San Fran hasn't had in a little bit, in a minute, and they may utilize and deploy him if injuries hit Mostert, likely. Gallman's interesting. I like the running backs. It is cloudy. I don't think I love it out the gate or anything, out the gate in 2021. I don't know that Sermon's going to be getting enough carries, but it's a great football move. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. ETN to Jacksonville. It does a lot of things. Ruins James Robinson's value for one. It kind of puts a damper on the value of ETN himself for two. But if we think about it from a football perspective, if we think about it from the perspective of the Jaguars and just what it does for Trevor Lawrence and his development, the options Trevor Lawrence is going to have, drafting a wide receiver, then also bringing in the best pass catching back in the draft it's pretty solid for ETN or for Trevor Lawrence to have a weapon, to have Chark, to have the rookie, to have Laviska Shenault, to now have James Robinson and ETN. This is fantastic for the organization, for Trevor Lawrence having options. It could be good for ETN long term. This signifies that they don't want to probably bring James Robinson back at a big dollar value. Maybe James Robinson's value gets diminished though, and he re-signs or something like that for a low dollar amount of money, because it's going to be hard for him to climb out of this situation and command a lot of money. He's probably going to fade away a little bit, obviously, and maybe he doesn't go away. Whereas if he blew up for 2 years or whatever, then he'd command more money. But it is absolutely a travesty to James Robinson's value. What's up? What's up, Nev? What's up, Keegan? What's up, Problem? All the running back landing spots so far have been horrible, so disappointing. I don't know that Najee Harris is awful, okay, but that offensive line, they're working on that. Drafted a tight end. They have wide receivers. Big Ben has a year left. Maybe they can fix this quarterback situation in time before it's too late when Big Ben steps away. But I don't hate the the Najee Harris landing spot. I don't love the ETN landing spot now. It could be good 2 years from now, year and a half from now. We don't really know. It could be great by mid-season. What if J-Rob goes down? We don't know. We just know that it's probably not good right now. ETN's talented enough that he could supplant James Robinson. Look, you haven't seen many advocates of James Robinson more than I have been, and I admit I'm a little bit shocked and a little bit disappointed because I really love the value James Robinson had. He had great value, Dynasty, third round, clearly wasn't worth it. Now hindsight's 2020. Redraft, he had late second round value. It was really good value. Redraft value heading into 2021. Thank God no 2021 redraft leagues have taken place. We can adjust and adapt. Dynasty, he had a really good trade value. He had a really good Dynasty startup value, we thought. And I don't think anybody can blame themselves for thinking that Urban Meyer wouldn't take ETN. Some people predicted James Robinson's decline. A lot of people said that he won't get a second contract. Those people are probably happy today. But you know what? I feel like a lot of those motivations were for people that missed the boat, didn't see James Robinson coming, and psychologically they wanted to root against him. I don't know that I give a whole lot of people credit for predicting Urban Meyer would take ETN in this draft. Some people called it, maybe, but who cares? Adapting and adjusting, moving forward, and the bottom line is we got to deal with it. And ETN and J Rob have decreased value now, moving forward, and that may mean that we get them at a bargain discount pricing value range that we get back in the J Rob and ETN game. We don't know. Everything's based on ADP. Everything. I repeat, everything is based on ADP. So if ETN in redraft dynasty, whatever, has amazing ADP, if the risk is baked in, I might be on board. If J Rob falls to round 6, I might be in. I might grab him on 1 or 2. I don't know. I don't even know where his ADP is. I haven't digested that enough yet to know where to put him exactly in ADP data. I kind of got a mock draft. I kind of got to see. J Rob traded to the Jets, man. Who knows? If he got traded, that'd be phenomenal. But I think Urban Meyer's plan was to have both. I think he wants that, and I don't blame him. If I'm an NFL coach and I'm not thinking fantasy, which is hard for me to get into that frame of mind, but I don't mind having ETN catching footballs and James Robinson up the gut. I don't mind it. Like, it's a good football move. I know it's hard for us to separate it and be honest with that stuff, but it is a great football move. Could they trade J Rob? They could. Could a team like the Jets want him? Absolutely. Could I see a team seeing the value in J Rob like we did, like the believers in fantasy football saying third round value, amazing value? I believe a team might look at that. I think a team may trade for him. He's cheap. You wouldn't have to give him an extension. You may want to. I don't know, but he's cheap. Contract wise, maybe a team gets an asset that they could put right into their maybe Urban Meyer says, hey, we could get this, we could get that, we could get that. I don't know what the Jets would give up, whether it be future picks. I don't know that Urban Meyer cares about future picks right now. He looks like he's ready to build right now. So I like what Jacksonville's doing in a way from a football perspective. As much as I love J Rob, I can separate myself. I don't need to be like all bent out of shape about it. Look, we adjust and adapt. We have new information, and I own J Rob in one league. I don't own him in a ton of leagues. To be honest with you, I was going to go attack him in a lot of leagues if we did escape, the NFL draft. I was kind of waiting to see what would happen. I thought maybe because there was reports about them maybe wanting to get another back in there. I thought maybe they would bring in like a Hill or a Sermon even. Like my fear was like a Sermon, not an ETN, not a Najee Harris, not a Javonte Williams. I didn't think one of the big three would go to Jacksonville, I'll be honest with you. So my waiting on trading and consuming a bunch of J-Rob shares did hinge on, okay, let's hope he walks out of the draft without facing a little competition, a Chuba Hubbard, a Sermon. But God, ETN, tough thing to recover from. What's up, Double A? I own 0 J-Rob shares. Michael says it sounds good. They should have addressed different positions. Jeepers, the Lions front office came unglued. They drafted Sewell. That's what. I'm so mad Denver traded right in front of us and took Williams. Yeah, that's another thing. Let's talk about that one. Gaskin's the biggest winner. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with the tomorrow stuff. Like, does Chuba Hubbard still fall? Chuba Hubbard, I walked out at the tail end of the draft. He didn't go in the last pick, right? Chuba Hubbard could land in Miami. You know what I mean? So I don't know that Gaskin has escaped fully yet, bro, but Gaskin looks a lot better than I thought he'd look. I don't really understand why they wouldn't, unless they're targeting a guy I love like Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard, in my opinion, is one of the best running backs in this draft. So if Miami gets Chuba Hubbard, who's going to be excited? This guy right here. And I believe Miami still will find a way to get a running back in that will potentially give Gaskin owners a scare. Gaskin could go to 0 value-wise, or not zero, but drop a lot. Mike Davis a huge winner right now as well. True J problem right now because Chuba is still out there. What other running backs are still out there? Off the top of my head, um, I believe Hill, right? Hill didn't go. Um, somebody give me a list of all the running backs that have yet to be drafted and drop that in the chat so we have a full list right in front of us. How about Mike Davis for this year? I like Mike Davis for this year. He's older. He's not a young guy. He's a couple years away from 30 years old, so he's not a spring chicken. Um, time to worry a little bit about his dynasty value. Let's say a year from now, but for right now, even a dynasty for 1 year, maybe two. Like if you're thinking he's my now piece and I'm going to build future around these guys, or a keeper league, a limited keeper league. For right now, I like it. I think Mike Davis proved enough, and Chuba Hubbard could land in Atlanta, so we're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods. You guys got to wait. I get everybody telling me to give them who should they take at 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I get it. You're excited. I don't mind telling you, but I always have to preface: we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Chuba Hubbard's still out there, ready to muddy up the waters potentially for a big name player. Arizona could still draft Chuba Hubbard. Okay, so the available running backs right here. Thank you, Red Nacho. Gainwell. Okay, yeah, Gainwell is the one I was trying to think. I don't have anything in front of me right now, so I'm off the top of my head. I'm drained. I've been live streaming for like 2 straight days from Instagram to YouTube to Instagram to YouTube. I've been going crazy, man. So my mind is completely fried. Gainwell, Kalen, Hubbard, Carter, Mitchell. Okay, Jamar. So the main guys left: Gainwell, Kalen, Hubbard, and Carter. I would say Mitchell I like too, but those are the top guys. No one's safe yet, guys. No one's safe yet. I know it's very easy, and people want to say, "Hey, you know, Gaskin's out of the wood," or Gaskin's out of danger, or Edmonds is out of danger. But no, Hill, Gainwell, these are good running backs, and especially Hubbard could land in these spots, and it could really, really hurt those values of those guys. So don't think for a second we're out of the woods yet. At this point, draft capital for these guys is troublesome, bro. The draft capital is so low for these guys. You wonder if they're going to draft them to start them. Sure, you have that risk. Somehow, coaches have that mentality. As much as I like to fight it, sometimes coaches feel that way, and I don't know why. I don't know why that drives them. But number two, any team could take a running back at this point. Look at San Fran. Look at San Fran and how they got Sermon when they have Mostert, they have Wilson, and they just brought in what's his name? The so fried. My brain is so fried. Gallman. They brought in Gallman from New York, and Gallman's good. I like Gallman, but they still draft Sermon. No one's safe. No one is safe. Edmonds is not safe. No one is safe. Hubbard is that good. Gainwell's pretty darn good. You know, Marshall was a steal, bro. I like Marshall. What do you think about Marshall? Guys, tell me. Tony's good. Tony was good. As you're going to make, I'm going to make a video on every rookie position. Yeah, I might do a rookie mock draft number 1 tomorrow. Smitty, Terrence Marshall on the Panthers. At this point, the draft capital of these guys, I read that comment already. This whole running back class is weak, says Randy. Gainwell. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Marshall, the next DK, everyone passed on him because of medical concerns, says Ian. I like Marshall, bro. I like Marshall. I like him. Is Matt Ryan a top 5 fantasy QB because of his weapons, bro? It's a great question. Kind of have to put him like near there. I don't think I don't draft him top 5, but I can admit that he could get there. Like he's a good value guy. It's hard for me to draft him that high, but he's got weapons, man. I mean, but Julio could go down, let's say, and then you got Pitts and Ridley, and then other teams that are, other quarterbacks that are top 5 where they still have weapons about as good too. So let's not get it too twisted up that like Eckler and Keenan Allen for Herbert aren't close already. And then if something happens to Julio, which seems to always happen, and a rookie, I think Pitts will be top 5 for tight ends right away. But maybe he does progress slowly for 5, 6, 7 games. So I'm going to pump the brakes on vaulting up Ryan just because Pitts landed there. I like it. I think if you own Ryan and you're worried about it, now you can be feel rest assured that you're going to probably have good production. Smitty, how will the Saints pick affect fantasy? How will the Saints? What pick are you talking about, Alex? Be a little more specific. But glad to see you here, Alex, my boy, my man, my YouTube exclusive member. For those of you that don't know, I do Zoom calls on Sundays. Alex, it's going to be a good call on Sunday, man. We're going to talk all about rookies and landing spots, what to do. If you didn't know, becoming a YouTube exclusive member, you just go to my main YouTube page. Look at Alex has the little emojis that you guys don't have. What are you talking about though, Alex? Tell me what pick, the Saints pick you're talking about. Alex is in the YouTube exclusive member club, and all you got to do is go to my main YouTube page, click the join button, and join one of those tiers, and then get on a Zoom call. And we do Zoom calls every Sunday. We do two Zoom calls a Sunday. We get on a Zoom call. We all talk about anything you guys want to. It's awesome. Thoughts on Arizona taking Rondo? So look, Rondo Moore. Let me tell you guys, I'm in Arizona, and I was pissed. I was live streaming yesterday. You guys probably saw it. And when the Cardinals took Collins, who I don't hate, I think Collins could be a good player, but he was a second-round prospect to me. I did mock drafts. It's not like I don't say, oh, I heed the road to the team, and if that's the guy they like, I'm okay with it. No, I do. I analyze this stuff for a living, so I have my own opinion. And I didn't like the pick at all because it was way too early. You could have got Collins later, and if you couldn't get Collins later, there's tons of players that would have been available where we took Rondell Moore that I would have been happy with. There were a lot of guys there. What was I saying? So Rondell Moore going at 16 would have made more sense than Collins going in the second round, in my opinion. I think Rondell Moore is a good wide receiver, perfect for the Cardinals to get in the mix. You got Hopkins, now you have Rondell Moore. Rondell Moore is more capable of being electric than Kirk, or whoever. So I'm really glad we got a guy that can be a strong number 2. And I would have thought it was a little bit early, but I would have been all smiles and ear to ear grin if we would have took Rondell Moore at 16 and Collins in the second. So in the end, it worked out. It's kind of like when somebody takes a guy too early, but then they get a steal the next round, and then you look at their team and you're analyzing it. And I'm always saying, man, if you just flipped those, I would have actually liked both those picks, but you lucked out in the third round, got a steal, and you reach for a guy in the second round, but flip it and it's fine. That's what happened. Rondell Moore and Collins, if you flipped it, would have been ideal. So in the end, the Cardinals did a really good job. They just really botched that first pick. Now you could say they got Rondell Moore. What if we would have got? I think, yeah, I think Surtain was gone because he went early, right? So it was who was the other wide receiver or the other cornerback? God, my brain is completely fried. Samuel, Sante Samuel. We could have taken him at that 16 pick, in my opinion, and then Moore. If we would have taken Samuel and Moore instead of Collins and Moore, I would have given us an A- draft grade, the Cardinals. But hit the thumbs up on your way in, guys. It helps the channel. It helps YouTube. Send it to more people. It's not just me being greedy and that I want thumbs up and I want to grow this channel, and hitting the thumbs up. If you're watching, 25 of you right now, hit that thumbs up because it will help me a lot. So that's all I ask of you. As a Miami fan, I think they completely botched the draft. Not a fan. I don't think Miami botched the draft, bro. I think Miami did pretty good, bro. I like what you guys did. Miami's looking pretty solid. I don't love Waddle as much as like Devonta Smith, but I'm kind of glad that Tua. I don't love Tua more than Hurts for Devonta Smith, so it worked out for me, fantasy wise, and as a Devonta Smith fan. But I think Miami did pretty good, bro. I don't agree. I think you should be happy. Taking injured guys, passing on Sewell. Well, who do you think is the number 1 receiver in this class? God, this is a tough question. And Alex, I see your question, or I see what you said, Alex. Said I'm just kidding, Smitty. They picked defensive end, but you didn't even know. Yeah, because I'm all fantasy. Is that what you're referencing, Alex? These are going to be a lot of fantasy losers after the draft, but Denver running back, San Fran running backs, and Tony and Van Jefferson stocks. I don't know about Van Jefferson, man. I mean, I don't know. Tony, I like Tony. I think Tony could be a good player. Um, Devonta Williams, and then we'll talk about the wide receiver. So here's the thing: Devonta Smith could be a top 5 wide receiver in the league. Give him a year, give him a year and a half, whatever. But so could Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, as predicted, and I got a lot of heat for it and a lot of circles because people are like, they're taking Sewell. Sewell's the only pick. You can't protect Burrow drafting Chase. Oh my God. Like all the ridicule I got on that. Look what they did. You draft good linemen, great linemen that fall into the second round, third round. They did fine. They picked up a great offensive lineman, and they got their guy, Jamar Chase, stretching the field, creating a quick release for Burrow. Quick release is the best cure for a bad offensive line. And now you have a quicker release because you have an elite player. No, I don't think the second round wide receivers plus Sewell would have been better than going Jamar Chase and getting a later lineman. I think this is the move. This is the 10x move versus the 5x move. Getting Sewell would be a 5x move. Things increase 5%, or 5 times, 500% increase. Offense is better line, everything gets improved. Adding Jamar Chase, getting a good lineman that's undervalued late in a draft that's very deep with linemen, and because of all the offensive skill positions pushing everybody down, you get a steal of an offensive lineman. Jamar Chase falls into a situation where he plays with his old quarterback, and not that Waddle doesn't with Tua, but Jamar Chase falls into a situation where I think he's a top 4 to no, you know what? Put top 1 to 6 wide receiver value there. Like leave ceiling room for him. We don't need to say top 4 to whatever. Top 1 to 6. Jamar Chase is playing football with his former quarterback, and it's there's no learning curve. The rapport is there. I think the Bengals turn things around fast. I think the Bengals give the Steelers, the Ravens, and the Browns a run for their money for winning the division. I don't care what anybody says to me. I don't care how crazy that sounds to people. I don't care if people say, "Oh, the Browns or the Browns did really good last year." I don't care. I don't care if people say Lamar Jackson's back. I don't care. Lamar Jackson faltered for a while. He faltered through half of a season, fumbled through half of a season, not fumbled, but stumbled. And Pittsburgh vanished at the end of the year. Like, give me a break. If anybody thinks that all 3 of the Browns, Steelers, and Ravens aren't vulnerable to an up-and-coming team like the Cincinnati Bengals, who just drafted a generational talent at wide receiver, address the offensive line, Joe Burrow's maturing, going to be better. Mixon's going to find more room to run. Not that I love Mixon, but he's a good running back that always gets hurt, but I like him a lot. The Bengals will give every team in that division a run for their money. Mark it down. Denver completely destroyed you by taking Williams. Yeah, bro. I don't know how I feel about these running back landing spots, to be completely honest. I mean, Javonte Williams going to Denver, like ETN going to Jacksonville. It's like I'm confused. I don't mind the offenses for him. It could work out long term. But I mean, we can't be excited about it. Like, you can't be excited about Javonte Williams with Melvin Gordon there. But how long's Melvin Gordon got left? Like, let's be honest. Even if Melvin Gordon didn't have any competition this year, okay? Let's put this in perspective and pump the brakes a little bit. Even if Melvin Gordon didn't have that much competition in 2021, played decent. Let's say he ran for 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns and caught 35 passes for whatever. He's tailing off a little bit, but he has a pretty decent year. I don't think any one of you are drafting Melvin Gordon in the first 5 or 6 rounds in 2022. he's fading away already. Like one more year from now, and he might be a guy you barely want to draft at all. So let's remember that when we devalue Javonte Williams entering a rookie year, where he's probably going to get an opportunity to replace Melvin Gordon. When Melvin Gordon, in my scenario I just painted, didn't have any competition. But you put Javonte Williams behind Melvin Gordon struggles a little bit. You put the rookie in there at some point. Maybe it takes him to week 8. I don't know. But Williams will be able to be the starter by the end of the year. He'll be like Jonathan Taylor was at the end of the year at the very least, I think. But he could probably grab a hold of it earlier. And Melvin Gordon could get hurt, really early on, or he could struggle, or they could be like, we're starting Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Like, we don't know. So I buy Javonte Williams. I love that Javonte Williams, who I believe will eventually have a good situation. Think about A.J. Brown. When A.J. Brown was drafted into the Titans uniform, sitting there on the roster, Marcus Mariota was the quarterback. We all threw up in our mouth. We're like, Marcus Mariota? Oh, A.J. Brown won't ever get the ball. What's up, Yarks? Yarks, tell me what you think about this Cardinal, I think, misstep in the first round, taking a guy in Collins that I mean, dude, I mock draft a lot. He was never in the first round in any of the mock drafts I did at a community of 4 or 5 people. 4 or 5 minds at work never drafted him into the freaking first round. I was like really bummed about this pick. I know I like offense, Yarks. I know you think, oh, he only thinks offense. I would have been fine with Samuel. Asante Samuel. We like take Asante Samuel, Rondell Moore, A minus draft, easy. But we take Collins. The saving grace was I love Rondell Moore, man. That was a great pick. We could have taken Rondell Moore at 16 a little early, and I would have been happy. I'd have been like, this is an early pick, but bro, I like it. Yeah, James Robinson, ETN, Yarks. I have no idea what the hell's going to happen now. I was just talking about that earlier. I think ETN is a good buy low. Or draft late in a rookie-only draft, and then you hope this thing gets, James Robinson fades away or something, or in a year from now that it's not a big deal. Just like I was talking about Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams is a elite running back. He's like a Jonathan Taylor guy, well-rounded running back, landed in Denver with freaking Melvin Gordon. But Melvin Gordon's not going to be relevant maybe at some point this year, let alone in 2022. So Javonte Williams is craft. Like in a rookie-only draft, he's going to fall far. People are going to be scared as hell to draft him. They're not going to like it at all. And I like the value. I think a lot of risk is built into that. You just may have to wait a little bit. You can't guarantee anybody that Javonte Williams is going to get early work. You just don't know. Kyle with a super chat. Thank you, Kyle. Unknown wide receivers picked in the second and third round. There were a lot of unknown guys. I'm going to do more of a breakdown on all these rookies. I'm going to do a rookie overall ranking tonight. I'll have that released tonight. And then I'm going to start doing individual outlook breakdowns on all the rookies. Those will trickle in over the weekend. And then I'm certainly going to do an update to my overall rankings on sleeperu.com. So Sleeper U, the letter U like a university, sleeperu.com. Make sure you're subscribed. And my rookie rankings will be updated tonight, as will the rookie overall ranking that I'm going to throw up with a wee bit of commentary and like a grade. Like I'm going to grade them from 1 to 10. Jamar Chase being like the top guy probably with we'll give him a 9.6 out of 10, and then we'll put Najee at like 9.4, something. It'll be graded like that. I liked Collins' pick. Your bias to offensive side of the ball. I already took away your ammunition and said that at the beginning, Yarg. So read, bro. Read. And on top of that, like I said, I even prefaced that you take Samuel and Rondell Moore, and I would have loved the draft. I just don't like Collins was too early. You can defend it all you want. I know you're a Cardinal guy, but Collins was too early. We didn't need to take Collins at 16. I'm a little excited about him, though, but I just wish we would have taken him later. But again, if you flipped it, I would have no problem. So ultimately, it worked out. We got a steal. We got a steal in Rondell Moore. I think is a perfect wide receiver for us to get. I would have rather us got Devonta Smith or something like that, of course. But I think this is a good fit I think Moore is a good fit for what we need, and I'm really excited for Kyler to have another weapon because I think Rondale Moore is the most capable of the wide receivers not named DeAndre Hopkins on the roster currently in Arizona that have the potential to be electric and really grab a hold of that wide receiver 2 spot. And in weeks where maybe Hopkins is banged up or something, he could really grab a hold, take control, and be a wide receiver 1 for the team when Hopkins is banged up or out or something. So I love the Rondale Moore pick. Chuba Hubbard, I hope lands in a good spot. I'm hoping Miami. I'm hoping New York. I wouldn't even mind Arizona. I would love Arizona for Chuba Hubbard. I think he needs to find a crafty spot where he can climb up and get starting work eventually. And I think his talent will shine through. Guinness, what's up, bro? Guinness says, hit the thumbs up, people. We got like 30 people in here and only 20 thumbs up. Wipe your feet. Show the channel some respect so we can get YouTube to send it out to more people when we got more people in here. Bears did great. Fields was fantastic. I'm so stoked about the Bears family getting a real QB. Do you feel he could be the answer? I think Lance would have been by far the best option for the Bears, and I loved it for San Fran. And I've been mock drafting Lance to San Fran for well over a month or two. And so in my San Fran communities, you guys know I've been the advocate of Lance. I've been the one true believer in Lance. And I said Lance in that offense could be electric. He could be elite. He could be top 6 to 10 quarterback in fantasy, top 6 to 10 quarterback in the NFL. Lance is special. Lance is going to be special, really special. Fields, I don't feel the same way about him. I think he could be efficient in Chicago or be okay. But we're talking about, in my opinion, and I know this might hurt to hear, but Kirk Cousins, type ceiling for Fields. I don't see Fields being a top 5 quarterback. I see Lance totally flirting with the 4 to 7 range constantly. Thank you, Yarks. You're special too. And Lance could get you 10 TDs on the ground, 11. He got 1,100 yards and 14 TDs in college. He could get you 10 TDs on the ground on the year and maybe 40 to 55 yards a game on the ground. In addition to being a very good pocket passer, like Lance is smooth. He has a really nice release, good touch on the ball. Probably the strongest arm in the draft over Lawrence, over Wilson, over everybody, especially over, Fields is good, but Lance has the strongest arm and he's smooth in the pocket. I know there's some film on him that every one of these rookie quarterbacks has bad film and good film. So I don't really want to hear it. I've watched enough of it and watching his pro day, watching how smooth he is, watching his leadership in interviews, crushing the team interviews and crushing the media-based interviews. Lance has the character, he has the patience, he has the finesse, he has the swagger. Like this dude's the answer. Lance is going to be, it's like a Lamar meets Dak meets Cam Newton. He's not elusive like Lamar is elusive. He's elusive like Cam Newton in his prime was elusive, and he's Dak Prescott in the pocket. Cam was never Dak Prescott in the pocket. He's a combination of it all. Fields doesn't touch any of that. Like I started to argue with my Niner faithful people that I hang out with all the time. You guys see him, Dr. Ross, C-Mac, Vlad. They're diehard Niner guys. We live streamed. We had 4,000 people in our live during the NFL draft on Instagram. 4,000 people were watching us. And when Lance was announced, I was like, so happy because this is what I've been hoping, where I've been hoping Lance will fall. Fields, I just don't feel like he's going to ever be better than a Kirk Cousins. And I know that that's hard to hear. Lance is going to be another Lamar. Okay. Smitty, would you have preferred Asante Samuel than taking Cox or Moses at linebacker? I would have preferred, I don't mind getting a linebacker, but I would have preferred Samuel and Rondale Moore. Smitty, stop loitering. Loiter. I loiter. I loiter for a living. I've never been kicked out of any of these areas yet, bro. I've never been kicked out yet. I like to get out. I like to have a change of scenery with my videos and my content. And at night, I like the nighttime live, walking around, getting out of the house, getting fresh air, answering questions in a remote location here in Phoenix, Arizona. I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite types of live streams. Um, Boy, how do I rank them? So rank the rookies. I have Jamar Chase number one. As much as I like Devonta Smith, if I factor in 2021 and how quickly these running backs will or wide receivers will evolve, I think Devonta Smith will evolve. Devonta Smith, just like I like CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson, I have Justin Jefferson ranked higher. I think CeeDee Lamb could get there, but you have to pick and choose, and you have to consider what's going on currently with the team, what the workload looks like, what the how far along the player is from breaking out. Jefferson already broke out. Lamb's about to break out. Like there's a lot of moving parts, if you will. Chase right now plays with his old college quarterback. Rapport's there. Jumps out of the gate on fire. Chase has 10 to 12 TDs as a rookie. Chase has, I don't know, 1,100 yards as a rookie. Don't at me. Rookies are different now. Rookies are built different now. No, Justin Jefferson wasn't really an outlier. You might not get 1,400 yards very often. That could be the outlier piece of it. But offsetting and balancing out the production with touchdowns and receptions and yardage, Jamar Chase could have that kind of year, just spread out and balanced differently between the categories. So he could have 1,100 yards, 12 TDs, 11 TDs as a rookie. I've zero concern telling you that. Devonta Smith could start off slower, building rapport with Hurts, unlike Chase going, "Hey, what's up, Burrow? Let's get back to work." This is crazy. So I rank Chase number one, and I say that very unbiasedly because you know how much I'm all about Devonta Smith. I love them both. They're both top 6 wide receivers of the future. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Adams and Hill still because it doesn't matter if they've got a little bit more or less time left. Adams and Hill are still top 5. So you got Justin Jefferson. You got Hill. You've got Adams. You've got guys like DK, Ridley, Lamb, but Lamb's later. You don't take Lamb in the top 5. You don't take Lamb in the top 5 at all. Jamar Chase and Devonta Smith are going to be in the conversation for the tier right below those guys I just named: Jefferson, Adams, Hill. Ridley's going to be right there with Jefferson and Devonta Smith. DK is going to be right there. So I do like Javonte Williams a ton. I like him a lot, but I'm ranking Chase number one because you got to factor in the 2021 speed of relevance that this guy holds. Najee Harris maybe 1.2, even with a bad offensive line in Pittsburgh, even with worries about where Ben Roethlisberger and this quarterback situation will be come the end of 2021, or midseason when Rothy goes down. Who knows? They'll still lean on the run a lot. If Najee Harris is facing a limited offense passing game behind him, then he's going to see more 8-man fronts. He's going to see more crowded boxes. He's going to see less efficiency. And Najee Harris may be, I don't know, maybe he's still a high second-round pick, in a redraft format or something in 2022, even if there's a debacle or, a collapse or whatever. You are ranking Devonta Smith in the top 12 wide receivers. You've been smoking tonight, bro. Matt, when did you become such a hater? Seriously, all you say is negative stuff. Why even follow me, bro? Nonstop. You come in here and you throw hate around. I don't know what's your problem. But yeah, Devonta Smith's top 12, bro. Top 12. Dynasty? That's easy. Yes, of course. As a rookie, I don't know. As a rookie, he's going to start off slow. So, no, Devonta Smith isn't locked into anything as a rookie. But is Devonta Smith in my top 12 in Dynasty as a wide receiver? Without hesitation, bro. Without even equivocation, without a stutter, nothing, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Getting Chase at 1.2 in a 1 QB, I don't think you're. Well, maybe you will. Harris will probably go one in most rookie-only drafts, bro. So you're probably looking at maybe getting Chase in most situations because running backs are always what everybody wants. I wouldn't be surprised if Chase went, but I think you could be safe in most formats. If Rodgers returns, is Amari? If Rodgers returns, is Amari Rodgers number 3? I don't know. Are you writing that? Are you talking about rookie? Or are you talking about the rookie Rodgers? Or are you talking about Aaron Rodgers and talking about Adams? I'm not sure. Or are you talking about Amari Cooper? I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. Smitty is barely in the top 5 rookie receivers. Sure. Wide receiver from Clemson go to Green Bay. Oh yes. Okay, so I get what you're saying. Sorry. You're saying if let me get back to your question. Where is your question? If Rodgers returns, is Amari Rodgers number 3? I got you. Sure. If Arizona doesn't draft a running back, do you expect Benjamin to play? Anything's possible. Tough to predict. I think Benjamin will certainly get some run. Yarks, what do you think of that? If you're still in here, I think Edmonds isn't going to stay healthy. I think the Cardinals will draft a running back. There's a lot of running backs left. I don't think they leave this draft without getting at least one of them. Now, will it be a small-time guy? Yark says no, Will it be a small-time guy? It could be. But if they draft a Hill or they draft a Chuba Hubbard especially, or they draft a Gainwell, one of those 3 I expect to probably be on the Cardinals roster. And then you have yourself, a conversation about that guy in Edmonds being, in the run for starter touches. Thoughts on the tight end, McKitty to the Chargers? We'll see. I wasn't high on anybody but Pitts and Brevin Jordan, and then the other guy, what's his name? Fariz or whatever the hell his name is. Those are the only 3 guys that really felt like they could have impact, But Kitty could be good. I don't know. I'll have to look at him, to be honest with you. I haven't looked too much into him. I'm always up late, bro. Edmonds and Connor will carry the load, says Yarks. Yeah, we'll see how Connor does. I know Yarks, you're high on Connor. If Connor can stay healthy, he'll be relevant. If he can't stay healthy, then I think they still look at a rookie. I was hoping that they would take Sermon or they would take Najee Harris. I know Yarks is going to say no. They just brought in Connor, but I don't like Connor, man. I don't think Connor is going to stay healthy. But hey, Edmonds, Connor, Benjamin, they could walk in with that. I wouldn't be surprised. We don't exactly run the ball. We don't exactly throw to our running backs either. We run the ball fairly well. We're committed to one guy. Like even when Drake got hurt, they rushed Drake back, and instead of saying, "Hey, take a week off," we've got Edmonds. They still fed Drake hurt. Like so, I do feel like if they find the right runner, they will feed the runner. I would have liked Sermon in a Cardinal uniform 2 yards. That would have been pretty solid, man. And he didn't cost that much. He was a 3rd-round pick. Like Sermon would have been a great grab for the Cardinals. You taking Allen Robinson or Devonta Smith? Matt, I know you want to come in and just be negative, bro, but I've already told you that Devonta Smith is absolutely in my top 6 wide receivers for rookies. Would I draft him in the top 6? No. My ranking of him is predictive. It's not where you draft him. Would you draft Allen Robinson over Devonta Smith? Probably because you can trade him, bro, for Devonta Smith and more. The ranking and prediction of what he will become is different than where you draft him. You draft around ADP. You take advantage of ADP the best you can. You use my rankings and predictions as a guide. If I tell you that, hey, Javonte Williams is going to eventually be a top 7 running back in fantasy football, you don't go drafting him at number 7 or in the top 7 or anywhere near that. It's all about taking advantage of the opportunity. ADP-wise, Devonta Smith isn't going to touch Allen Robinson in a redraft league. In a dynasty league, you'd be surprised how close A-Rob and Devonta Smith would probably be to most people. I've seen Devonta Smith go in the 3rd round in a dynasty startup, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about here. You talking about redraft? You talking about dynasty? Devonta Smith easily can be in the conversation of Allen Robinson in Dynasty. Like, I don't even know why you're bringing up that name. Like, but Matt used to be a positive force around here. Like, what is this Matt? Is this Matt or is this Matt's brother got a hold of his account and is coming in here just constantly negative, looking for the one thing I say and go, you think that you're crazy. You think that you're crazy, Matt. I've been called crazy all year long. I've been called crazy for 19 years. I was called crazy talking up A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. I was called crazy for liking Drake. I miss on stuff too, Matt. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect human being. But what, Matt, I do is I put my bold heart on the line and I tell you what I think. And you can either like it or not like it, Matt. I'm not here to debate you on whether Devonta Smith equals Allen Robinson in a dynasty format, which I think he easily does. And it's a joke to even bring it up that it's like insane. Like to like Devonta Smith, a potential top 6 wide receiver in fantasy football dynasty, and talk about A-Rob, Allen Robinson. I'd much rather have Devonta Smith than Allen Robinson. Bro, are you crazy? In a dynasty league? You're calling me crazy. Yarks called me crazy in 1993 when I drafted Troy Aikman. You remember that, Yarks? That was the day, man, back then. Any interest in Atwell? We'll see, bro. I'm gonna break down all of this later. I gotta digest it. A lot of it just happened. I wanna get a good feel before I start tossing out predictions and projections. Is Kyle Pitts really that great of a tight end to warrant the number 4 overall NFL pick? Absolutely, Guinness. 100%. He's generational. He's gonna be a top 5 tight end as a rookie, and it's gonna be insane. Red Nacho says, Smitty, stop wasting your breath defending yourself. You don't need to. Your resume speaks for itself. Thank you. Thank you, boy. Thoughts on the Jets offense? I love the Jets offense for the future, man. It could take a little while. I'm prepared for that. I'm ready to saddle up and weather through the storm with my boy Zach Wilson. But you give that man offensive lineman, you give him a wide receiver to pair next to Denzel Mims. You maybe take Chuba Hubbard later. A Gainwell, somebody. The Jets aren't done at running back. At a running back, boy. So excited. Love the Jets turnaround that's about to happen. All geniuses were thought to be crazy. Smitty, don't worry. I know, bro. Thank you, J Problem. Dude. The funny thing is, I'm not that mad. I'm not that mad at all. Like, bro, it's just, I love when people come around and call bold predictions or any predictions at all crazy. Like the funny part is Matt could come in here and say, Smitty, I think Mixon's going to be the number 1 running back this year. If Matt were to tell me that Mixon's going to be the number 1 running back, I'd be like, bro, I don't agree, but sweet, appreciate you, like awesome. I like bold. I like people thinking for themselves, but I don't think I'd go at anybody and be like, bro, can't believe you think that. Like, how can you think that? Because we're all predicting things. Nobody saw a lot of things coming. The year Lamar came out, about like 90% of everyone in fantasy football did not know or see or believe that to be coming. To see Lamar Jackson bring the year that he brought, that breakout season, like those people were crazy to everybody. It's the way this works. Arian in one of my bigger predictions on NBC when I was NBC Sports Radio was Arian Foster would become a top 5 running back. Arian Foster, heading into his second year, having just a decent week 16 and week 17, unrestricted, undrafted free agent, comes into Houston, does nothing. Week 16, week 17, he has pretty good games, looks pretty solid. I went on NBC Sports Radio in 2010, 2008, I don't know, 2008, 2010, it was one of those 2 years, and said this is a top 5 running back. That was more crazy and not even in the realm of possibility than saying Devonta Smith is a top 6 wide receiver of the future. The best wide receiver prospect to a lot of people until recently when Chase vaulted him and jumped over him. And I don't mind that. I like Chase. I love both of them. But Devonta Smith, You could argue in the numbers over 600 yards better than anybody in FBS in 2021, more receptions, more yardage, more TDs than anybody in the nation, the best wide receiver in press coverage in all of those categories, and beat every wide receiver by over 600 yards. This wide receiver dominated, and it's not shocking to anybody, like to the point where they're saying you're crazy, that I have him as a top 6 wide receiver of the future. This is Devonta Smith we're talking about. He's an elite player. He's going to be elite in my mind. And I don't mind if anybody doesn't like him. I mean, do your thing, you know? I don't mind if you like A-Rob number 1 next year. I certainly don't think I would be like, bro, you're wrong. Can't believe you like A-Rod or Allen Robinson. Can't believe you like him as number 1 wide receiver. I don't care. Like, you could like anybody as a number 1 player at their position. And I think that the only wrong thing to say is that person's wrong when you don't even know yet. You don't know. You can predict and project. You can play against someone and prove them wrong. But to say someone's off base at all by liking anybody high is ridiculous. Like, it's a ridiculous stance, man. It just is. I can see Smith hitting the gym, putting on a little. He could put on about 5 to 10 lbs, most definitely. But I don't even care if he doesn't. Like, in press coverage, he was the best wide receiver in college football in press coverage, which is what everybody's afraid of. Oh, he's going to get manhandled at the line of scrimmage. First of all, you can't touch Devonta Smith. Second of all, he's number 1 in college football in press coverage because of that reason, because you can't touch him. But even when you can, his footwork is phenomenal. Devonta Smith is 100% inside my top 6 wide receivers for Dynasty and for the future. No question about it. Am I taking advantage of it? The fact that you don't have to draft him anywhere near the top 6? Absolutely. Am I telling anybody to go get CeeDee Lamb as a top 5 wide receiver? No, I'm not, because you don't need to. You don't need to go get CeeDee Lamb in the top 5. But he will, in my opinion, be top 5. Big difference. Don't go drafting him any higher than you have to. CeeDee Lamb will ball out. My favorite wide receivers to own in a dynasty startup, let's say I could start 4 of them, would be owning Jefferson, Lamb, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Jamar Chase. Grab all 5 if you could start 5 wide receivers. I love that. I love that build. Give me that. Give me that build all day long. Thoughts on James Robinson and how the ETN, bro? James Robinson, rest in peace, young man. That guy's value is dead. In all honesty, we got to see where his ADP shakes out and levels out to, because James Robinson, if ETN got hurt or something, like there's still a point where you want to buy him. We just don't know where that is yet. I got to see mock drafts. I got to actually be on the clock. I can't just spit out. I could blow smoke up your rear end and tell you, oh yeah, his ADP is now at 6.45. Like, I don't know. I have no idea, but I do know I'm not excited about him, anymore, and that sucks because I liked him a lot. I pictured the Jaguars drafting somebody, but I did not picture it being one of the top 3 running backs. Oh, man. Smitty, I respect your opinion on Smith, but I think you're crazy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Matt says laughing emojis, we still love him, though. And Matt, I still appreciate you, Matt. I'm mainly going at you, Matt, because I felt like there was like a string of weeks and even like months where you felt like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was somebody else, but you felt like one of the ambassadors of the brand. And so, I don't know. Devontae. Not everybody's from the same part of the world, bro. We all say things differently. Bateman, Rondell Moore, or Elijah. So many players' value completely destroyed in this draft. I agree, Jay. Problem. Definitely feel that way myself. I'm sorry, Smitty. I've been negative lately. I'm like a grumpy old dad now these days. It's okay, Matt. I forgive you, Matt. You're still my boy, Blue. I don't care. Devonte. Like people say it differently. People say cement and cement. It's like what's with everybody this morning? And I say this morning because it is past midnight. You know, it's like draft against Matt, says Jay Problem. I just might. Maybe Matt will get into one of my big leagues I got going on. Look, I'm not right about everything, guys. I liked Kenyon Drake last year. I did. Guilty. If you think I'm going to hit everything, you got another thing coming. But if you think I'm going to sit back and worry about being called crazy because I like Devonte and Devonta Smith more than the average bear, buckle up. It's going to be a long year, Cupcake, because Devontea. How about the morph version of it, Devontea. That way everybody's happy. And it's not. And let me ask you this, Mister Boss Sneed. How do you say Alvin Kamara? Is it Kamara or Kamara? Because I bet you're going to be wrong. I bet you don't know how to say Alvin Kamara or Kamara, because you're gonna have an answer that I can almost guarantee is going to be wrong. Asking Matt if he drafted. No, I was asking Matt if he had draft anxiety. Okay. So many players' values were really hit hard in this draft, man. It's Alvin. Jay Problem's the only one that's answered it correctly because he technically hasn't been wrong yet. But I can guarantee you almost every answer in here, unless you've been watching me ask this question to other people, I can almost guarantee that everybody in here is going to have the wrong answer about Alvin Kamara or Kamara. So far, Jay Problem's the only one that stepped around it. Little trickery. But yeah, ETN, James Robinson, Melvin Gordon, um, Melvin Gordon, and Javonte Williams. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with these guys? This is crazy. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. How good is Sermon to the Niners? Look, long term, or if certain things unfold a certain way, very good. Great for San Fran, absolutely. Able to get production out the gate, I don't know, bro. Red Nacho says Alvin Kamara. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait until Boss Need responds. Where would you rank Jalen Hurts now, Smitty? I'm feeling really good about him. I do like him. I think you got to be careful where you draft him. There's a lot of good quarterbacks, but I think that, Smith being added to the roster, Rager likely taking a little step forward, Miles Sanders maybe being used properly, although I'm not too sure what this new coach, Nick Sirianni or whatever the hell his name is. Maybe I'm pronouncing that one wrong. Siriano, even though it's Sirianni. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. Doesn't seem like he does so far, but I'm a little worried. Not committing to the quarterback. Not talking about Jalen Hurts like he's the starter yet. That's a ridiculously dumb move. But I do like Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts could definitely flirt with 6 to 10 fantasy football quarterback numbers. Now, where in there, I don't know, because the QB pool is very, very deep. Thoughts on Kyler Murray next year? I like Kyler. I mean, Kyler Murray's 3 to 4. You could put him at 2 to 4 if you want. No one's crazy for liking a guy like that at 2. No one's crazy for liking him at 4. And with Matt's newfound attitude, Matt will tell you the same thing. Surprised Tylan Wallace is still available. I agree. Do you think Lance starts right away? Jay Problem, I'm in a current argument and debate with my 49er faithful fellow friends and pages that I go live with all the time on Instagram about this. It's a bold prediction. Certainly, it could go either way, and certainly the safe move is to start Jimmy G week 1. But I have made a prediction and a bet with my boy C Mac, and I bet that Trey Lance starts week 1. And if he does, then C Mac has to eat 4 heaping scoops of mayonnaise in a row on a live stream. If I am wrong, I have to do 400 push-ups in one sitting, which I will not accomplish. That's the whole point. 4 mayonnaise scoops, 400 push-ups. I will probably die at 180. I bet I have a tough time getting to 200 push-ups. If I start now, by the time week 1 comes, I bet you I could get over 200, maybe 250 in one sitting. I hope I get at least like a 1 minute break in between, but my body will eventually give out. What's up, Scrotum Toast? Bro, what happened? All the Trey Lance has to sit the whole first year. I don't know why people say that. Lance doesn't have to. I've never said that, Noah. I've said Lance starts week 1, bro. Everyone talking about Trey Lance being a project. Like I've been the biggest pushback advocate of that stance, bro. I've never been so excited to watch preseason games. Me either, Ian. I'm so pumped, man. He definitely has a chance to start week 1. I think so too. Which Big 5 QB is most likely to bust in your opinion? In order, I would put them at Mac Jones. If we're talking the rookies, Mac Jones, then Fields. I don't think the other 3 will bust. I think the other 3 will be absolutely insane. I think Lance could be Rookie of the Year. I think Najee Harris could be Rookie of the Year. I think Chase could be Rookie of the Year. I think Devonta Smith could be Rookie of the Year. I think Wilson or Lawrence could be Rookie of the Year. I love this rookie class. I know I like rookies a lot, guys, but you're not hearing me talk about the running backs. It's not just rookies. It's special rookies. It's rookies that have the upside and potential and generational talent. Pitts could be Rookie of the Year. Lawrence, Wilson, Lance have a chance to be special, not just good. I don't know that the running backs will. It's just a fact. Everyone kind of knew this running back class could be weak and not so good. Did Snead never come back? Did Boss Snead ever tell us how to pronounce Alvin Kamara? I'm waiting for him. I still question why the Broncos didn't take Fields, to be honest. I do too, man. And I thought, Judy might crack my bold prediction soon. Little nugget for those of you that are deserving enough to hear, a little inside information because you're watching the live stream late at night, and I appreciate you. But I thought that was going to ruin my ability to make that a bold prediction because I thought everybody'd be excited. But now that the Denver Broncos are, who'd they get? They got, what's his name? Who is the guy that they got? They drafted a quarterback. What's his name? I'm blanking out. Denver Broncos. My brain's fried. Do you see Von Miller's reaction to drafting Surtain? No, I didn't. Jalen Phillips, Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm calling my shot now. Nice job, J Problem. Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos. Jerry Jeudy and Sutton would be Dynasty League winners. Yeah, so when that was what it was, Matt. When there was Aaron Rodgers talk kind of brewing up, going to the Denver Broncos, hours before the draft, I was a little bummed that I didn't have my Jerry Jeudy prediction saved and uploaded yet because I had been writing it for a while and I'd been sitting there and I'd been tweaking it and I've been releasing one bold prediction every couple weeks to spread them out. So I thought, okay, I'm safe. I should have done it before the draft, but I didn't. Because if Jerry Jeudy got Aaron Rodgers, everyone and their mother would be talking about how this is the next top 5 wide receiver. And it would be frustrating because he's got nothing but hate. I've been talking him up all off season long. Go get him, go get him, go get him, go get him, go get him. And I wish I had that on the bold prediction prior to that. But didn't happen. Still could. A-Rod, he's really that's the best location for A-Rod. So if A-Rod doesn't get moved, it's probably like a 40% chance or 50 or more that if he did for sure get moved, that he would be in Denver. So I'm definitely going to post that prediction here soon so that you guys can take advantage of it now. And even if A-Rod doesn't land there, I love Jerry Jeudy. But A-Rod turned Davante Adams into Davante Adams. Let's be honest here. As good as Adams is now, even if A-Rod left him, he would still be Adams. He's still developed into who he is today. I'm not saying he's currently standing on Aaron Rodgers' shoulders, but he wouldn't have turned into or developed into the current player he is without A-Rod. A-Rod does that. He makes you great and leaves you great. I think that Jerry Jeudy would be vaulted into the top 5 wide receivers. He would be a top 5 wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy, if he had Aaron Rodgers force feeding him the football and maturing him into that type of talent. Get ready for Fields to win Rookie of the Year. I don't think so, Noah. You could be right. Again, I'm not here to tell anybody they're wrong. I appreciate your opinions. I could be wrong about Fields. I'm not saying it's 100% certainty of any kind, anything I ever say. And I could be wrong. That could be one of the things I'm wrong about this year. No question about it. But I don't love Fields, man. I think he could do good. He can do good. I don't know if he'll do great. Who's T-Law's favorite target? I mean, they just added a weapon, bro. But Chark at first for now. But I mean, this is a good team, man. This is a good team. This is a really good team. I like what Urban Meyer's doing, man. I don't like it for J. Rob. But I can't help but smile and love this for Lawrence. He's walking into a great situation, man. He's got a lot of people he can throw the football to. He's got ETN. He's got James Robinson. Both can catch the football. They're not going to be starving for any kind of running back production, even if injury strikes the damn team. He's got wide receivers. He's slowly developing everything else. I really love this Jacksonville Jaguar turnaround. It's going to happen pretty quickly. Running backs, or was sleeper you were watching for on day 3? Chuba Hubbard, Gainwell, Hill, Jefferson. There was someone else. I keep blanking out. Look at the Dolphins are doing. I like the Dolphins. Got this weird feeling Deshaun Watson is never coming back. Matt, have you seen my videos, bro, on this? Because I've been feeling that way for a while. I think that everything hinges on the criminal part. If the criminal investigation gets closed, which would happen if all the civil cases settled individually, mind you, it's not a class action. It got consolidated, but consolidation does not mean class action. All 22 cases would have to settle, or 21. I think 1 or 2 dropped out. So let's call it 20. 20 cases would have to settle. If all 20 cases settled, there would be agreements in there that Deshaun Watson did nothing wrong. Therefore, there would be 0 cases from that point for the criminal investigation to stand on. So the legs of the criminal investigation would be wiped out and collapse, and the criminal investigation would close unless new accusations arose, which they could, because it's not a class action. It is not. So future accusations could emerge, which is troublesome and makes you wonder, okay, did 2 or 3 people not come out yet? 5 people, 10 people, whatever, even one person. Then if that came out, it'd be another problem for him. But even if he settled all 22 cases, or 21 or 20 or whatever there are left individually, it's not going to happen soon. So I think him playing 2021 is slim to none if that stuff doesn't get ironed out quickly. And the criminal investigation is only going to wait so long on the civil side. The criminal investigation is probably waiting to see if the civil side gets worked out, because again, if it gets worked out, the criminal side falls apart. They're probably waiting, and at some point, they're not going to wait too long. They're going to have to move forward, which will probably go to summary judgment, or this could go to a closed grand jury trial. And I think Watson has said he would like to take it that way. And if it goes that way, that's not good for him, because then the league can take action. The league would probably put him on the commissioner exempt list at that point. We'll find out. But if he doesn't settle, the criminal stuff doesn't likely go away, because there's 20 or so cases that are individual, and the likelihood, according to the attorney Tony the Tiger, who I had on the show, the likelihood of the criminal investigation not being looked at, with 22 or 21 or 20 separate cases is slim to none, because there's 20 reasons to look at it, and all 20 would have to be completely off base and made up or, non-existent, no evidence, no nothing at all. And he's admitted to being at the scene of the crime in most of these situations, and that, consensually everything was good to go, but that makes it to where it still needs to be probably looked into. So admitting that he was there, probably, while it's a good thing in some ways, that it takes away the, he's lying. Like if he said everybody's lying about everything, everyone's gonna be like, yeah, right. But him coming out and saying, I was there, the things that happened did happen, but they were okay. Everybody was okay with those things happening. That probably makes it hard to say, hey, we can't look into this from the criminal side. So we'll see what happens, man. Is Trey Sermon worth a 2.01 in Dynasty? Yeah, probably. I'm going to mock it out. I'm going to break it down and look at this and give you an answer tomorrow. Is Alvin Kamara still a running back 5? A running back 5. Alvin Kamara is still running back number 2, in my opinion. So I draft him number 2. Number 2, baby. Number 2. Taysom Hill, Winston. Look, these guys are preparing all offseason, unlike last year. You had a guy, Taysom Hill, step in as the quarterback and command an offense that he prepared for as a tight end and wide receiver or running back. Okay, he didn't know what to do when he got in there. He makeshifted that thing. He had limited exposure to the playbook, tried to learn it as the season moved along. That was very limiting for Alvin Kamara's PPR production because Taysom Hill didn't know the offense. If you don't know the offense, how are you going to find Alvin Kamara and run plays that are going to be specifically, dump offs to him? You're not. So that's why in a limited offense, Alvin Kamara got phased out a little. But he did run more at the end of the year. He had the 150-yard and 6 TD outing in week 6 that people sometimes forget. He had 6 TDs and 150 yards on the ground. That makes me feel like this team wants to run him more in 2021. That's a harbinger of things to come for Alvin Kamara's potential balancing of the workload. Maybe he's going to get more run on the ground. Maybe they realize without Drew Brees, we got to test out our new offense, which is going to be more run heavy. And Alvin Kamara led the way and looked really good. So I feel good for a lot of reasons. One, that we saw him run on the ground, something that, he'd been more of a receiver than anything. Number 2, he had 81? I think it was 81 or 83. 81 receptions his first year in the NFL. 81 receptions his second year in the NFL. 81 receptions his third year in the NFL. 3 straight years, his first 3 years in the league, 81 receptions in a row, all 3 years. Craziest thing in the world. And then what did he do in his fourth year last year, 2020? He had 87 or something like that. Or 86, 87. So he finally broke the 81 reception mark, which was phenomenal. That's a great amount of receptions in a year where he got phased out of the receiving part of the offense, and he still broke his record or broke his 81 back-to-back streak. I think he worked out pretty well last year. For people to doubt Alvin Kamara when his quarterback's going to have a whole offseason to prepare as the quarterback, they might be a wee bit disappointed. Same way people that doubted Kamara in 2020 because of his injured 2019, those people were disappointed too. Who's the best fantasy player the world has ever seen? Scrotum Toast wants to know. I think I might. I don't know if I'm going to answer like Tomlinson's probably, or Marshall Faulk, a good answer. And I don't know that this player actually had the best fantasy season ever. Like, I'll have to break it. It depends on your scoring and all that. So, but Priest Holmes, man. Priest Holmes, Kurt Warner, Randy Moss, Marshall Faulk, Tomlinson. We could debate over which one Kurt Warner was. Peyton Manning too, but Kurt Warner was so phenomenal. Kurt Warner was the number 1 overall pick in 1 QB leagues. Like, a lot of you don't remember. A lot of you weren't even pooping outside your diaper. Maybe at this point, I don't know. On Instagram, I feel that way with some of the followers. Maybe on YouTube, I've got an older crowd. But Kurt Warner was the number one overall pick for a couple years in a row, or at least danced in the top 5. People forget that quarterbacks went number 1 overall in 1 QB leagues. We're not talking 2 QB leagues; those didn't exist back then. PPR didn't even exist really back then. A little bit. It was starting to get a little bit of traction. But Kurt Warner was the number one overall pick because the dude was absolutely unstoppable, and he scored so many more TDs than the next quarterback. It was ridiculous. Randy Moss too. Randy Moss was the number one overall pick at times because that dude was insane. And the year with Tom Brady when he pulled in, what was it, 20? How many touchdowns was it? 27 or something like that. I forget. But all those names are worthy of. I probably left somebody out that someone's going to get mad about. Like Sean Alexander had a really good run, but it's short. But I wouldn't put him in that category. What range do you think Javonte is going to go in a 1 QB rookie draft? Javonte Williams, the running back, in a 1 QB. Dude, I don't know yet. I'll have all this stuff up later, but I would venture to say like 8 overall to mid-second round. Like, I don't really even know where. I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't a first rounder anymore, but I wouldn't be shocked if someone liked him in the 6th spot. Like, I really have to look at it and see. I mean, you got to figure the running backs are definitely going to go in the first round, the top 2 or 3, even in a bad situation like this where you got guys falling all over the place and cloudy spots. Chuba Hubbard, Gainwell, Hill, these guys still have to find landing spots. So if one of them lands in New York and the other one lands in Arizona, or the other one lands in Miami, you will have 2 more to talk about that will shove Javonte Williams potentially down. If Gainwell's in Miami, you think Gainwell's not going to go ahead of Javonte Williams in Denver? You know what I mean? So you don't really know. Torrey Holt, low key, one of the best wide receivers. He was good, dude. Kittle, Kelsey, Waller, maybe Hawkinson or Logan Thomas or Pitts. I'm not sure if you're answering someone's question. Are you picking Pitts in redraft? Trey. Pitts is top 5 to 6 in redraft, bro. Like, not only am I drafting Kyle Pitts in redraft, he's in my top 5 or 6. I don't care if he's a rookie or not. It doesn't matter. That's all out the window, Trey. Kyle Pitts. That's all out the window, Trey. That's all out the window, bro. That whole rookie tight ends don't do well their first year. Take that, crumble it all up, and throw it out the window. Because this is a different man. This is a different man with different set of skills that he's acquired over a long life. Skills that make him a nightmare for people like you and me if we don't own him. That's the kind of nightmare this guy becomes, Kyle Pitts, even as a rookie. Someone asked, tight ends, okay, Kelsey, Kittle, Waller. Yeah, or you could go Kelsey, Waller, Kittle, or if it's Dynasty, you could go freaking. I don't know. I still think Kelsey's undervalued in Dynasty. Like, even if he's got only 2.5 years left, and you know that for a certainty, like, he's still so good that you could argue the number 1 tight end if you want. But Waller's no spring chicken, so how much of an advantage is Waller over Kittle or Kelsey in Dynasty? We'll see. But he's not a young guy, believe it or not. People think he's super young. He's not. And Hawkinson and Logan Thomas, I think in Dynasty aren't even close to Kyle Pitts, but that's me. I could be wrong. I think Pitts easily is my either 3 or 4 if I'm trying to be conservative and I can have him higher. I probably have him higher. I probably have him too high, and I'm not going to put it down on paper and have you all think I'm crazy again. What round are you drafting him? Who are we talking about? Kyle Pitts in redraft? I don't know. I have to look at that, bro. It's hard to say off the top of my head, but I guess we're 7, because people think top 5 is too high. I venture to say you could probably get him as a 7th tight end, but I think someone in your league, bro, it's going to only take 1 or 2 is going to see him as a top 5 to 6 tight end. I don't think he falls much past the 6th drafted tight end, wherever that ADP is hanging out. What round do you? Oh, okay. Najee Harris. I don't know what the question is, but Najee Harris. If you're saying ADP, I'd probably say I could see him in redraft going around 2. Man, people are going to get amped about Najee. A lot of people are going to hate the landing spot. A lot of people are going to talk about bad offensive line, and I get it. But I think Najee Harris is going to have like probably top of the third round value in redraft, probably second round value in Dynasty, but I wouldn't be shocked if there was a really wide range, like somebody taking him at like 18 overall, 15 overall, and sometimes I'm falling to like a fourth pick in the third round, fifth pick in the third round. Like he'll be kind of all over the map. I think Logan Thomas takes a small hit because of Brown and Curtis Samuel entering. I like Logan Thomas a lot. I think people are too quick to put him like in their top 4 or 5 though. But could he be that good? I like him. I'm gonna be owning Tim Tebow in 100% of leagues. Matt says if he goes to tight end, who knows, man? But Tebow's been out of the game for a while. I think I'll pass on Tebow. Edmonds or Connor are splitting. Edmonds and Connor most likely will split time. I think Edmonds has an advantage. He knows the offense. He'll probably start off the year as the starter. Connor will get sprinkled in, and then I think they'll probably decide later who's playing better, and then go that way. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I appreciate all of you, even Matt. I appreciate every one of you, and I appreciate you helping this channel grow. Hit the thumbs up. When done, leave a comment, because guess what? This video will publish with 0 comments. The live chat will be visible for all of you to enjoy, but there will be no comments. And you know what? The people that comment in day 1 or day 2 almost always get a reply from me. So if you have a question, you want to yell at me, you want to tell me I'm crazy, Matt, whatever, got a bug on my neck, you want to call me crazy, that's fine. In the comments, do it, and I will respond to you. And that's the best way to reach me, is to comment on a new video, be one of the first people to comment, hit the thumbs up, support the channel, and let's get it on. Let's get this rookie content out. I'm going to be cranking it out all day tomorrow. I'm going to try and do a little bit tonight, like I said, and I'm excited, man. This is a great, looking behind me, I was hearing something. I can just do this, though. If anybody's coming to shank me, I can. Content will be up. Smitty, you are crazy, but I'm crazier. Well, then, Matt, you know, how do you know I'm crazy then if you're crazy? Like, what kind of, that's like saying, like, am I good to drive when you're boozing, bro? Like, this is weird. This is weird, Matt. Go Pack, go. Way to go for the Niners to ruin Mostert, Wilson, and Sermon all in one. Noah's been quiet tonight because Matt's been taking over the negativity, but Noah usually has it on lock. But Noah's my boy. Noah still knows that I appreciate him, and I think I read your comment, Noah. That was the comment that you had, right? Okay. Rookie content posted on sleeperu.com. Sleeper, the letter U, like a university, sleeperu.com. And if you want a text message with me, if you want text on demand, you want to ask me trade offers or me to help you cook up a trade, you can go to heysmitty.com, heysmitty.com, and you know, get your text on with your man Senior Smitty, and I can help you. What's up, Benny? All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate all of you. I'm a Cardinal fan, but I'm a fantasy guy first and foremost. But Cardinals, I'm an Arizona Cardinal fan, Cardinal supporter. But Benny, I appreciate you being here. If you just got here, rewatched the live, hit the thumbs up on your way out. Leave a comment, Benny, and for the cause, leave a comment. Matt, Noah, Scrotum Toast, all of you, Trey, Tony, leave a comment when I post this video, and I will get back to you. Thank you, Benny. Appreciate you. All the rookie content, I broke it down in here pretty well, but rookie stuff's posting on sleeperu.com, sleeperu.com. Later.